Hello, everybody, and welcome to this amazing Thursday evening training that we have got planned for you this evening. I'm so excited. I've got my Ferris wheel and my clock all set up with candles. It's load shedding, but nothing stops us here from presenting and getting to the core and the heart of Gift of Legacy with you. I'm so excited to be here. I've got co-presenters tonight, Edgar from New York and Beverly from Panama. And then Elizabeth from Madrid is our background girl and going to be helping us. But I'm so excited to be here. Edgar, this is going to be an exciting presentation, right?
It is already excited. Just the fact that you're here and we are here, we are already living the moment. So I feel grateful to be in this presentation tonight. I'm looking forward to learn everything about the power of
Perpetual.
All right. So let me know when you're ready.
Do you want to say anything, Beverly? It's a perpetual cycles is something close to your heart, right?
Well, I am so honored to be with you co-hosting this training call, because the Perpetual is what have got me so excited about Gift of Legacy.
Absolutely. It really, really is. So we're going to jump into it. We've prepared some slides. We're going to have one slide at a time, talk into it. We've got some videos. We've got time for discussion, but we're only discussing what we're training about tonight, please. So let's see what we've got about the power of Perpetual. Edgar, do you want to run the slides? Awesome. There we go. The power of Perpetual. We're going to be talking tonight all about riding the boards of abundance. Can we get full screen, Edgar? It's coming. So just look at that image. It's a big Ferris wheel in the night sky with all the beautiful colors that a Ferris wheel is lit up at night. There's a big amusement park just down the road from my home. And at night, when you drive past on the freeway or the highway, you just see the Ferris wheel all lit up. And I love looking at it. And the Ferris wheel in Gift of Legacy represents our perpetual cycle. And this is the most important part, and yet we don't always emphasize it. So I'm so excited to be presenting tonight with Edgar and Beverly, and we're going to be discussing the power of Perpetual, how you can ride the boards of abundance and how you can ride the boards to abundance. Next slide, please. So the word perpetual, Edgar always said to me, didn't know what the word perpetual means. It's simple. It's an adjective. It means never ending or changing, something that never ends or changes. And in our lives, we come across the infinity sign. It's become quite an iconic sign. Like, I think since about the mid-1990s, it's become quite an iconic sign across the world and in different communities. But perpetual just means ongoing, never ending, never changing. That's what it's all about. And we see it in different ways. We can see it in terms of the infinity sign. We see it on the clock, like behind me. The clock just keeps ticking, going round and round and round. We see it in the Ferris wheel, which is behind me as well, going round and round and round. And I'm wearing around my neck a trinket, which is a mandala, or mandala, however you want to pronounce it. That is a repetitive pattern that goes on and on and on. And that's what the power of Perpetual is that we're going to talk about tonight. So I'm not going to go on and on. Let's get the next slide.
Excuse me, before you do, could you please put me as co-host just to be,
Sure.
just in case there's sound in the background. Yeah, thank you.
So I'm sure that we've all looked at these games and we've played them. So maybe if you want to discuss this and let me know and write in the chat, have you seen these games before? Have you played with them? What was the attraction? What was your obsession with it? I know that when I was a little girl, we used to go to this general practitioner, a doctor, and he had one of these on his desk. And I was always playing with it. First, I would take one ball and watch it knock, knock, knock. Then I would take two. Then I'd take one from each side. I was quite irritating, I think. But I loved playing with it. And I can be quite obsessed with them. I can sit and play with them over and over. I bought my son one for university, and I said, put it on your desk, and it lights up. It's one of these funky ones with LED lights, and it lights up. And he loves playing with it. And then I've seen the Ferris wheel one in the Chinese shops that we have in South Africa. We've got lots of Chinese warehouse stores where they have things that we don't find in other shops. And I've seen this Ferris wheel, and I really want to go and get it. Hint, hint, Dad, I like it a lot. And it's a beautiful, beautiful ornament, and it just ticks over and over and over, and it's all my favorite colors. So Bev, have you played with these before?
I have played with the balls. I have not done the Ferris wheel, but I love the sound of the balls hitting each other. It is so soothing. And that's what infinity is all about. Infinity for me has become a feeling of constant calmness.
Yep.
Constant flow. And a constant feeling of being one with everyone around me. Adele, it is an amazing sensation.
Absolutely, absolutely. Edgar, have you played with those balls?
I really like the fact that the energy in between is really interesting. How one little effect can have a reaction on the other just by a little touch is really interesting.
It is. And there's other videos. You can go look them up on YouTube. There's one called the you can look at it, and it's called the pendular swing. And it's balls that are lined up like this, and sometimes they put paint in them, and they knock them, and then they swing round, and they actually make like a caterpillar motion, and they change, and then they turn back on themselves, almost like an extended infinity sign, and then eventually they stop still again. And then the paint on the floor makes the most amazing, amazing pattern. It's stunning. So we see this perpetual action in our lives all the time, and it's intriguing, and it's addictive, and you can get obsessed with it, and your mind's always trying to work out, but how, but why is it not stopping? And those are the same kinds of questions we need to be asking about Gift of Legacy. The perpetual cycle, that's where it really comes into its own. That's where it's so powerful. Edgar, can we have the next slide, please? So while I was presenting this, are we going to keep captions on? Okay. Can we just think of where in your life you find the infinity sign, where you find the infinity motion, the perpetual motion, this motion of the figure 8, this motion of the sideways 8. And I found this, and it's so beautiful. First of all, it's colorful. So you know me, I was straight into it. And it says, oh, Edgar, where did we go? Oh, Candace has joined. So Candace has knocked us off a little bit. Hi, Candace. We're very glad you're here. We're just going to go back into this.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Better late than never. Beautiful.
We're so glad to have you here.
Beautiful presentation.
It's your kind of slide, Candace. It really is. So
purple and abundant. I mean, yeah, how does it get better than that?
It's all about the perpetual cycle, and it says the deeper meaning of why skaters, surfers, and snowboarders do it is because they are experiencing this phenomenon of the figure 8, yin-yang, infinity movement, energy, when they're out doing what they love. So all of those kinds of sports, whether they're snowboarding, ice skaters, you know, my family, my mom especially, she loves watching ice skating, especially Torval and Dean back in the day. I'm showing my age. But these amazing artists who can skate across the ice rink, and they all go in a figure of 8. And it says there, why do they do this? Because they are experiencing the movement of that perpetual motion. It's so natural. It's such a natural movement. And we're going to talk about some other sports. Edgar, do you want to pull up the next one? And then after we've gone through this, we'll discuss. So that looks like a really childish drawing, but it's actually not. It's from an equestrian handbook, and that is the plan for a show jumping arena. Now, having watched some show jumping events and watched how the horses and the rider run around the arena, they don't just jump across one little jump at a time. They go in a figure of 8. It's natural. It allows the horse to gain momentum. Hey, how's that word? Gain momentum, and then he turns, and then he can take the big jumps. And they normally put the really big jumps after the second cycle around. So it's always the second cycle that is more important, and that's where the big jumps come, because the horse is in his stride, the rider is in his rhythm, and then everything is flowing. It's the natural flow of life. So that's an important thing to consider as well. Edgar, can we have the next slide, please? Oh, no, don't. Let's go back. Let's not have that one yet. We're going to get to that one. So just maybe we can stop sharing at this point in time. We'll get to the circular economy. In my field of work, I'm an occupational therapist, and I work with children who have got physical difficulties and children with learning disabilities. Now, I always confuse, when I'm speaking, I confuse the words perpetual and perceptual, because in my line of work, I deal with children with perceptual difficulties. They do not perceive what they are seeing. I deal with visual perception. And as a speech therapist, my colleague in the rehab team, they deal with auditory perception, because learning is both seeing and hearing, and your perception is very important. But how incredible is it that the word perception and perpetual are so similar, right? Now, when I'm working with children, we have to encourage brain development. And we all know that our brain, and I'm going to explain it to you the way I explain to parents and children, your brain is the size of your 2 fists put together like that. Your brain is that big. So you put a baby's hands together and you put it next to their head, you can see it fits in their head. And as you grow and you become a big man like Edgar, obviously your hands are bigger and your brain is bigger, because yes, Edgar, you've got a big brain because you're a man, okay? Everybody's brain is that size. But how incredible is this? Look at my knuckles and my fingers and my thumbs here at the back. They actually are representing what the brain looks like. My thumbs are my cerebellum, which is this big bump at the back of your head that helps you with balance, okay? And these folds are the folds of my cortex, okay? Now, your 2 hemispheres of your brain are connected, almost like when you open we call it a nachi in South Africa, but any citrus fruit, like a lemon or an orange, when you open it, the 2 pieces are joined together, and that's what our brain is like. It's joined together. Now, when somebody has a learning problem, and especially a physical disability, we need to work both sides of the brain. I can't knock on their head or blow things up their nose or in their ear. I can't shake their head. The only way I can exercise the brain is to use 2 sides of my body, and I need to do it in a figure of 8. So all day, every day, I'm teaching children to do things in a figure of 8, whether they are walking on chalk that I draw on the floor in a figure of 8 motion, or on a blackboard or a whiteboard, they draw a figure of 8, because children can't, and then they do this. They bump, and they bump like a bean, or they go round and round, or they turn their bodies and they're doing this, because they can't get this natural flow of the figure 8. And the figure of 8 helps children to develop their breathing rhythm. It helps them to improve their focus and concentration. It helps them to improve their acuity and their cognitive learning skills. And all of this helps them. So many therapy modules, many of these programs that children and people with disabilities attend, we all encourage the figure of 8. Why? Why are we encouraging it? Because it is so natural. And then I say to children and parents, we need to practice this. Now, you all know I'm a big rugby fan. Okay, the Springboks, yes, we are champions of the world for the 4th time, just in case you don't know. But when our rugby team warm up, or your soccer team, or my son plays hockey teams, we've watched the best hockey teams in the world playing. When you watch those teams warming up, what is one exercise they all do? They walk around the field, touching hands to knees. They do it almost like a marching dance across the field, the astro or the turf, right? That's exercising 2 sides of the body. Why? Because it's this movement. Look at this movement. It's the perpetual movement. And so it is so important. This natural flow is in our lives. Think of the equestrian events. Think of synchronized swimming at the Olympics. They don't just jump in the pool, splash, splash, kick their legs, jump up and pop down. They do everything under the water in a figure of 8. If you watch them, it's a figure of 8. Racing tracks, before they started getting fancy and making fancy Formula 1 tracks, the original racing tracks were figure of 8 going over a bridge. When I was a little girl, my dad bought us a Sky Electrics, which I think he bought for himself because he had 2 daughters. But it's one of those tracks where you build and you put cars on. And the basic track was a figure of 8. And my dad's white car would always beat us because he bought a foster car for himself. But it was going in a figure of 8 and a figure of 8 and a figure of 8. So it's so natural in our lives. Let's talk about that. Where in your life, I've got one more example. Where in your life do you use a figure of 8? If you're a mom and you're running bath water for your little child and you're checking the temperature, you put your elbow in. You don't put your hand in the bath and splish, splash and make a mess because you have to clean it. You go figure of 8, don't you? If I'm doing hand washing, those of us who still do it, and you are rinsing, you're washing in the water, it's figure of 8. No one goes splish, splash. So where else in your life do we experience a figure of 8, an infinity motion, a perpetual motion? Bev, Edgar?
When you're baking a cake.
Oh, yes.
The batter.
Makes sense.
The cake
Absolutely.
batter.
There we go. Every day.
The other part is when you are sort of doing your pedicure. You under the bottom of your feet, you use your thumb and make the figure of 8 inside that.
To get the solar plexus, that piece under the bottom of your foot. Mm-hmm.
It's a great sensation. It makes the energy flow, and that is the magic of perpetual.
The energy flow. Edgar, what makes your energy flow?
My energy is always flowing. I have to calm it down. I mean, it's a great question. I'm just thinking, what make? I guess walking with my dog.
You probably
really,
do a figure of 8 in a way.
Correct. I love when I'm walking, when I'm driving. I remember being younger, driving with the windows open, and you're doing the waves. Oh no, you put the windows down, you take your hand out, and the wind comes in, and you take your hands out on the car.
Think about gymnastics with the ribbon exercises. I'm thinking of them right now.
Right.
Their ribbon exercises and their balls and how they roll the balls over their body. Everything is a figure of 8. Edgar, can you play for us that first video, not the colorful one, the other one? Not the colorful one. We're going to get to the colorful one.
Careful now. Hold on. Which video I'm about to show?
The round one, Edgar. The gray one. Yeah, that one.
All right.
So this video, it's not very clear, but I had to pick it up off Google because there is a circular perpetual flow. Do you see the little balls on the outside? And they're falling into the middle, and then they're going out again on that spiral onto the outside and coming back in. What does that remind you of? That perpetual motion reminds me of a Ferris wheel, and it reminds me of gift of legacy, because we all start as gifters, and then we come into the middle. If you're on your laptop, you have your board, and we all start as gifters, and we come in as builders and guides, and we legend, yay, and we get our gifts, and then we go back to gifters, builders, guides, legend, and we go back. And look at this motion I'm making now. It's a figure of 8. It's a figure of 8, like that. So let's look at that circular economy slide, Edgar. I didn't know anything about circular economies.
The first wheel where the guys are walking into it?
The map of the world. The map of the world slide.
Okay, okay, got it.
So I didn't, thanks Edgar, I didn't know anything about circular economies. I mean, I'm medical, right? I know about figure of 8s and infinity signs, and I know about developing the brain waves within, and the neurons within brains. But when I started participating in a gifting activity and they're talking about circular economy, it sounded a bit dodgy to me, I must be honest. And I was like, what is this all about? But then I started listening and learning. And my dad actually shared this slide with me a few weeks ago. Thanks, Dad, because it's so powerful. It is actually, I've gone and checked it up on Google. This is like the main sign that they use for circular economies. A circular economy in the world, it's an infinity sign. Obviously, they haven't represented it as a full infinity sign, but the arrow implies it, right? Circular economies, if it's an economy where within a community, they are redistributing resources, they are recycling things within their community. Nothing goes to waste. They're using everything within their communities. We are a gifting community. We are all about redistribution of what? We are redistributing wealth amongst ourselves. We have got over 800,000 participants in Gift of Legacy. And I send a gift from South Africa to someone in Canada, or to somebody in Russia, somebody in South America, somebody in England. Now we've got people in Japan and Thailand and the Middle East participating in Gift of Legacy, over 180 countries, probably all the countries now. I send a gift, they send it to someone else, they send it to someone else. I'm a gifter. When I get to a legend, I get gifts from different people across the world. And then when I become a gifter, I gift into other parts of the world. So I'm redistributing, and you are redistributing. Every single one of us on this call are redistributing wealth. And it's 100% legal, because my friend Elizabeth says, how can it be illegal to send a gift to somebody? Seriously. It is 100% legal. We are redistributing wealth. We are breaking the shackles of poverty. We are being the change. We are being the change makers. And people who understand the infinity sign and hold it as something dear, understand infinity, forever, endurance. It also means endurance. And people who understand endurance are people who've been around the track a few times. And it's been a bumpy track, and it's been hard, and there's been hurdles, but we keep going. We are sharing gifts, but we are sharing love. We are sharing knowledge. Before the call, you might have logged in, Beverly and Elizabeth and Edgar are teaching me Spanish, because I meet so many Spanish people, and I'm learning. I want to learn Spanish. I want to learn Portuguese. I'm good at picking up languages. I will never write them. You must see how I've written the greetings that I have to practice. But we are sharing love. We are sharing community. We are sharing relationships. Yes, it's about the gifting. Yes, it's about what Edgar always talks about, show me the money. That's why we're here, right? We all know that. But Gift of Legacy is way more than just the money. We are sharing ourselves with people across the world. I'm sharing myself with you, and you share yourselves with me. And we are recycling. We are recycling gifts. We are making sure everybody gets some. And we are doing this perpetually. That is a circular economy. And when my dad showed me this image and he said, what did you think? I said, send it to me now, please. I love it so much. And if we can just hold that image in our mind, that is the power of Perpetual and Gift of Legacy. We must never just think of ourselves and our team or the board we are on, but the greater good that we are doing in the world. That is what we are here to do. We are all sick and tired of the environments we live in, the governments who are so corrupt, of the people who are doing things to harm our planet. We have the opportunity to truly make a change. And I'm so excited for Tuesday night next week when we have our worldwide Zoom call, because that's when we hear the stats. And we haven't had stats since January. And that is when we see the power of our perpetual cycle. Edgar, Bev, what do you want to say about circular economies?
Okay, with me, I have been so blessed when I see that I have people in other countries to go to send money to send my gifts to send my love. And once you say, I bless this gift that I send to you in perpetuity, I think about the tree that Rafael and Carla made for Candace, being the fairy. It's the most wonderful feeling of knowing that our perpetual cycle will carry us on and on and on and on, feeding, giving, and receiving. That
absolutely.
When I saw perpetual cycle, I was like, that is better than anything that I know of.
For sure, for sure. Edgar, what does that circular economy mean to you?
It means a lot.
It was a game changer for you, right?
When I haven't finished reading the book, but when I consulted the book, it opens my mind. I had no idea that this was out there. And this is, I had an idea, but I didn't know it was global about the circular economy. And the more I'm into it, the more it opens my way of thinking. We're so narrow thinking on what we know that we only believe what we know, and we don't allow other new information sometimes to come in. And
absolutely.
Once you open yourself and you open your mind, your paradigm, your mental belief starts shifting. I coming from the world of sales, and it's all about show me the money on a physical way. I sell you the house, I get my commission. Well, here I don't need to sell anything. The energy is out there. It's all about uniting. It's all about understanding that it's there. It's just like oxygen. You don't see it, but it's there. And once you give yourself an opportunity to go deep and read and study book like this, then your mind expand. And the way the economy, understanding how the economy works globally is really mind-blowing.
Absolutely. Yep. So then isn't the next slide absolutely perfect? It's something I came across right in the beginning in 2022, and I turned it into a poster for Gift of Legacy. It says, change your perspectives. And because I'm into perception and everything, I love this. There's the Ferris wheel. You got to change your percepticles, how you see things. You've got to change them, because even glasses are a figure of 8. Even glasses are a figure of 8. And those of us who wear glasses or sunshades, every time you put them on, remember that you are looking through this perpetual vision, that you can see further, you can see going forward. Change your percepticles, how you experience things. We can be narrow-minded. We are set in our ways. Heck, I'm from a medical model. We are so like down the line. And yet we have to be open to experiencing other things, because the the year 2020 started and we had to all change the way we understood the world. So we need to understand the world differently. And that's why the Ferris wheel in Gift of Legacy is so important, because it's how we understand, how we redistribute that wealth. All right. Can we go to the next slide, Edgar? This is very important. Jean-Pierre's asking for the name of that book. Edgar, if you can please just put it in the chat. So the goal of Gift of Legacy is to ride all 5 boards perpetually. So initially, we just had that little square in the middle, but then last year in October, the coal train joined our theme park. But look at the coal train. The train at the My Amusement Park, it's called Gold Reef City, it's just down the road. That train doesn't have a beginning and an end station. It literally has a track that goes around the theme park, because you can hop on and drive on it or ride on it to another part, get off at the farm, jump on, go to the 4D cinema, jump on, go to the crazy rides. It's going round and round, a circular track, round and round all the time. So coal is one of the boards that you can start on. You don't have to start on coal for $25, but for just $25, you can experience perpetual income, perpetual abundance. And then within our Gift of Legacy theme park, we have the 4 Ferris wheels. We have the $100 bronze, the $400 silver, the $1,600 gold, and the ultimate, the $5,000 platinum board. That's where we all want to go. And the different size Ferris wheels represent the different amounts that we receive on those Ferris wheels. Now, you're not receiving $100. You're receiving 8 times $100. We'll show that to you just now. But that little pink arrow and the perpetual sign, once you've gone through the ride, you join it again and again and again. You see, when you open your website, you only see 5 boards. You ride the coal board. And then when you finish and you join your bronze, you join your perpetual cycle on your coal board. You don't join your perpetual board. There are no perpetual boards. Newsflash, there are no perpetual boards in Gift of Legacy. There are 5 boards, and you can ride it perpetually over and over and over till infinity. Keep this image in your mind. Edgar, does that image summarize the theme park to you? I know you like the other one, but does this one work for you?
This one is really, I mean, I like the fact that you had the little train circulating and you had the theme park. I mean, this is everything. I like the color. Honestly, it's really cute how the smoke from the train, comes out and is circulating. It's really that's what it is. And you start with $100 in your circle, you move up to the $400, then the $1,600, then the $5,000, and they're all at the same time. That's the beauty of it. They all happening at the same time, and I wish people can understand this.
See, you're not on one board. You're not on one board. You're riding 5 at the same time, perpetually, over and over. It's not going to stop. This theme park doesn't stop. This afternoon on the Telegram group, there was somebody chatting, and as admin, I approached the person and I said to him, what's going on? He said, no, I've been through all the stages. I've received my $42,000 and I'm done. My account is dead. And I said, no, we don't have accounts. And it's far from dead. You need to go back in and join those boards again and receive it again and again. I said, you haven't understood Gift of Legacy. You can be receiving it again and again and again and again. That's what it's all about. Edgar, can you show us that second video, please?
Okay, let's look for it.
I love the second one. Some of you who have a gravitational insecurity, which means you have a fear of heights, just hold on to your chairs. Elizabeth doesn't like this one, and I know my mom wouldn't like watching this one either, because anybody who doesn't like heights or scary rides might get freaked out by it, but boy, this one explains Gift of Legacy to me. Got it, Edgar? Show me the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. When I saw it, I had to watch it twice because I couldn't believe it the first time. I thought I was seeing things, and then I had to rewatch it again. And then on the second time, I see if I can make it.
Just watch it. Watch it. Very noisy. Very noisy. But watch what happens.
Talking
Just
about
watch
vertigo.
that Ferris wheel. If
One
you
more
watch the
time.
Ferris wheel.
One more time.
But hold on,
Imagine
before you play it, watch, there are people. There are four guys.
One,
There's four
two,
guys,
three, four.
four of them.
Yeah, four.
And they go to the middle of the Ferris wheel, then they go to the top and they use their body weight to pull it down. This is not run by a generator, by any power system. It is the power of the human experience that is moving this Ferris wheel. It is human power. It is not anything mechanical. And that's what blows my mind. Let's play it, Edgar.
I mean, those
That's
guys,
what I
they
love
should
about
say no for NASA, and this could be our next astronaut. Because if you could do this, you could go to the moon. Trust me,
Yep.
you know, with no harness, no protection, it's.
Look how fast they make it go. Here they go, climbing to the top, and then they swing off the back. Watch what they're doing.
That's what I love about it. I love it. I watched it over and over again. I love the sensation of that perpetual movement where they stay on one side of the wheel to keep it moving.
But I love the fact that it is gifters, builders, guides, legends, poof. Gifters, builders, legends, poof. And it moves. And the more the guys move, the faster it goes. People say my board is, I don't say that word. I don't say that word. But if the people are moving on the board, and the people on the Ferris wheel, if there's human energy, if there's passion, if the power of Perpetual is in you, then you can move those boards, because it is not the system that moves the Gift of Legacy boards. It's the people. And that video explains it. It is the people that move the boards. We'll share it again on Telegram so you can have it on your gallery, on your phone. But that explains how the power of people, the power of the perpetual cycle, the power of passion and commitment moves the boards, the power of people. That circular economy is not up to the governments. It's up to us, the people. That is the power. That is truly the power. Okay, Edgar, my next favorite slide. It's my other favorite topic. Brace yourselves, folks. Ohana. I love Ohana. Ohana is a Hawaiian word, and it means family. And Ohana means family. Nobody gets left behind. Nobody gets left behind. You see, in that infinity movement, in that perpetual movement, you can't leave anyone behind. One of my therapy tools, I should have brought it. It's a piece of wood, and it's got an infinity sign track carved out. And then I put marbles in it, and the children have to push their marble with their finger to do the infinity track. But if they go too fast, the marble bounces off. And I start with one marble, and then I go 2, 3, 4. And guess what? None of them can get past 8. None of them can get past 8. If I put 9 or 10 marbles, the marbles are going all over. But when there's 8, they flow. And even when I'm doing it, and we've got 8 gifters. So when we look at our bronze board, all right, this is from our presentation slide. You see it every Tuesday night. There's a legend, all right? The left-hand hemisphere has filled up. You are the guide. You've got your 4 gifters on your side. Your hemisphere can now close and split off. It will split off like those balls split off in that circular movement of that first video. It will split off and it will start its own board, and you will then be the legend and you will start receiving your 8 gifts. But that right hemisphere makes me sad because there aren't gifters there. And that means the people that were on that original board are not going to get movement, and they might get left behind. And there under the word Ohana, I've put one of my favorite images. That is how I see the GL algorithm. That's what he looks like to me. If I gave him a name, I would call him Algo. That's what Algo looks like. That is our algorithm. He takes gifts and he distributes them around the world. He is a computer. It's automatic. He places people where they need to go according to the code that has been programmed into his system. So now Algo looks at that top board and he thinks, oh, I don't want people to be left behind. So our algorithm has got something called the Ohana principle, the family, the community principle, where when you who split off and you had your own board, your board moves quickly, you're on fire, everybody's energetic. You then have received your 8 gifts, your board closes, and you need to join your perpetual cycle. Your board is going to say peak, you're going to peak, and you're going to join, and where you're going to land is on the right-hand side hemisphere of your original board, because you are going to go there to help that board to close. Because look at that shape. Edgar, can you use your cursor? Look at the shape of our board. It's an infinity sign. It's a perpetual sign. Can you see it? If you start by the legend and you draw around it, there's our infinity sign. So we can't leave someone behind. Ohana is such an integral principle in the power of perpetual, because people go back to their original boards, not just the legend who closes the board. They'll go back. If the builders then have their own boards and they close and that right-hand side hemisphere is still closed, they're going to go back there. Look, Edgar's drawing it. Look at that infinity sign. Has no one else ever seen that before? Because that's all I saw the very first time I saw the boards. Right there is the power of perpetual on our boards, and we overlook it. And Ohana is such an important principle to get that power going, because it gets people back on the board. And you mustn't ask to be removed, because that's where you're meant to be. Algo says you need to be there, because Algo has looked at all the criteria, and that's where you need to be. Your purpose in Gift of Legacy is to ensure that the whole community, the circular economy, moves. Yes, it's nice to be with your team and your lineage, but not everyone has big lineages. Are you going to allow those people to be left behind? I'm not. I'm the kind of person who will look for the downtrodden, for the lonely person. And I know that there are many like-minded people in the community like me. You are the one that will give sandwiches to the person who's hungry on the street. You will give your secondhand clothing to people who need it. You will do whatever you need to help people in your community. That is the spirit of Ohana. But the Ohana principle is what Algo says. He makes sure that everybody fills up the boards. And we're going to introduce Algo a little bit more. I think he should become that mascot that walks around the theme park. But anyway, I digress. Anybody want to say anything about Ohana? Edgar, Beverly?
The concept of Ohana is so deep within each and every one of us, because we're all created equal. And if we feel for ourselves, then we should start moving. See, when I look at the board, I see a butterfly flying. I see the wings moving. It's the Gift of Legacy board is the wings of a butterfly that keeps moving in and out, in and out. And oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you.
When I draw the infinity sign with children in therapy, little girls draw butterflies and little boys draw racing car tracks, unless the little girls who do go-kart racing. But I explain it to children that it's like a butterfly's wing. And
Yes.
Beverly, you've hit the nail on. I mean, the whole metamorphic cycle of a butterfly, it's that whole cycle. Everything in our lives is a cycle.
Because as a gifter, you don't know what is in the middle, but you know you have got to give a gift of love to that person in the middle. You don't know what that person in the middle is going through. That person in the middle.
Then you grow into this awkward caterpillar in the builder phase. You don't really know how to invite people. And then you're a bigger caterpillar munching away, trying to guide your baby caterpillars. And then you become the butterfly in the middle. I mean, come on, we've got so many analogies here of the perpetual cycle.
I have felt that, and I will not let it go.
Absolutely. Okay, can we look at that next one? Because this next one is very important. And it's a phrase we talk about a lot in Africa. I don't know if you talk about it a lot overseas, but we talk about generational wealth. And look at that image. I didn't design that. I just Googled pictures and I found this one and I had to bring it in. What is generational wealth? The secrets to building a legacy. And there's a family or a community and they're sharing dollars. Right there. Right there. That's gift of legacy. You see the seeds that you plant today when you're a gifter and you send that initial gift. That is the initial seed that you water and you plant, and that becomes the legacy for your family. That becomes your legacy. A legend is not a legend without a legacy. And we are called gift of legacy because that gift builds our legacy. You know, these are not just words. When people say, oh, GOL, I hate that word GOL because it doesn't describe gift of legacy. It's GL. That is our abbreviation. But gift of legacy, we are legends because we are building a legacy, and it starts with that seed, and that seed has to grow. I mean, I'm crazy into my gardening at the moment. I've just harvested my final cucumbers from my crop, and I'm very excited. My peppers that I started growing from seeds in November are now turning into peppers. And you know what? They were green peppers, but it's a red pepper bush. And yesterday I went to water them and they were red. And I was so excited, and without thinking, because I tell people about my garden experiences on Facebook, and I said my pepper era, that's what I'm calling it now, my pepper era is now so amazing, and my garden is coloring my world because it's such a phrase in my life, because my red peppers are there, my yellow peppers are growing, the green ones are coming. I've now discovered today that the potatoes are huge under the ground and I need to harvest them too. But they were seeds. They were little seeds. And I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I grew cucumbers. I didn't know how to grow a cucumber. I planted the seeds and I watered them. And all I did was water them. And everyone was giving me advice. And I said, shh, I'm watering them. That's all I'm doing. I have harvested the most amazing cucumbers from planting seeds and watering them. And that's what we do. You plant a seed that then becomes your journey. It might take you a while to get to bronze and silver and through to platinum. I haven't got to platinum yet. I'm still a legend on my gold board. I've been in Gift of Legacy for 2 years and almost 2 months now. But I know what's coming, and I know that's going to be the legacy for my son. I know that my dad is involved. It's a family thing now. That this is a legacy that we have, and it might be slow to go, but it's exponential. It grows, but you got to keep watering. You've got to be in it. Edgar, what does generational wealth mean to you? Because for me, it means building for my family, for the generations to come.
It's a big word. Generational wealth is, to me, I always think of person that had left generational wealth. Number one was Henry Ford. I have studied the legacy of Henry Ford. He was a simple mechanic, very smart man, extremely brilliant. He decided to build a car so he can take his wife to the store, to supermarket. His wife took the T model, the first car, and went to the center of the town. And that's when everybody knew about that he built the T model. He never built a car for mass distribution. Now, 100 years later, we all seen a Ford, either a Ford truck, a Ford minivan, or a Ford car. He left a generational wealth that 100 years later, his generation is still benefiting from what he built. The second person that come to mind is Walt Disney. Walt Disney was like a cartoonist for a newspaper, and he used to draw cartoon, mouse, this and that, and he had this dream of building a theme park, and he didn't have the money. He borrowed the money from his family, friend, brother, like some of us did, to join in GL because we had a dream. He borrowed the money and he stopped buying land and buying land and buying land. Walt Disney passed on and he never saw what he created.
Yep. You may never see it.
I mean, amazing. He died and he never saw that today Walt Disney have their own TV channel, radio channel, satellite channel, movie theater. He didn't know it was going to go out of hand. He didn't know it was going to go that big.
Yeah.
To me, that's, generational wealth. Just leaving a legacy that 100 years later, that's my mark, 100 years, that 100 years later, there will be people benefiting from what you did today. Sure. That's my definition.
And we might only be 2 years in, but we are 2 years in, because many online platforms do not make it past 2-3 months. We are 2 years, 2 months in, and we've already had generations of presenters. We've had generations of training. We've had generations of platinum legends. We've got people who are on their perpetual cycle on platinum. We have got the proof. We've got the proof. Gift of Legacy is not going anywhere. It's here to stay, because there are too many people who are invested in Gift of Legacy across the world. Absolutely. Okay, let's get to the next slide. This one I find very exciting. This is Edgar's brainchild. We just brought it to life. Okay, so there's that train that's going round and round the theme park. It is the coal train, because that is the actual fire, the engine for Gift of Legacy. You can start for $25. Then you have your bronze board, which is also a starter board. You can choose where you're going to start your Gift of Legacy journey. Then you have the silver $400 board, the gold $1,600 board, and the platinum $5,000 board. That's where we all want to go. Edgar's there. That's where I want to go. And I know people who've been through platinum and on their perpetual cycle. But that train is pulling these carriages, is pulling these Ferris wheels. Okay, it's not pulling them around the theme park, but that coal train is creating the energy for those Ferris wheels to move. We mustn't allow ourselves to think small. Candace Hoy says, don't limit your thinking to think you are only good enough to be on the $25 board, because you deserve to be on the $5,000 platinum board. We all deserve to be there. Don't just ride the coal train over and over. There are far more exciting rides that are going to give you abundance, but in that journey, you're going to learn so much more about yourself. The way you are going to grow in that journey is going to be so much more. So on your first round, let's look at coal. Let's look at what we receive on our first round and what we keep. And then we'll look at perpetual. Can we do the first click, please? Edgar, do the first click. Just click once. Right. So on coal, in your first round, the first time you're on a coal board, you get 8 $25 gifts. So $200 you get. Don't keep them all. You're not going to keep them all, because you need to take $100 to join your bronze board, and you need to keep $25 to join your coal perpetual cycle. Okay, it's not a perpetual board, it's a perpetual cycle. You want to ride this train again, you're going to keep $75. But when you're on your perpetual cycle, that's below the white line. When you're on your perpetual cycle on coal, you are going to receive $200. Same thing, you're receiving 8 times $25. But this time you're already on bronze, so you don't need to gift it. You're riding your bronze Ferris wheel. You only need to hold back $25 to ride coal again. So you're keeping $175. That's already a lot of money for most of us. Putting in $25, I'm going to get $175 back. Is there a time frame? No. How long will it take? I don't know. How many people are you going to invite? How passionate are you? How engaged are you? How much do you want your dream? Are you going to sit and moan when other people aren't inviting, or are you going to fill the board and go with it? There's no guarantees. There's no time frames. But I can tell you, if you put $25 into a gift that you send unconditionally and it's non-returnable to somebody in the world, you will receive back $200, and you can keep 75 on your first round and 175 on your perpetual. But if you put $25 into a bank account and they take off the interest every month, they're going to eat that money away like Pac-Man. Chomp, 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 until you've got nothing. You will get your money and more. You will. Let's look at the bronze board. So on the bronze board, you're going to receive 8 $100 gifts. So it's $800. But when you're on the first round, you now need to keep $400 to join your silver. And you're going to want to join your bronze perpetual cycle again, ride it again. So you're keeping $300. $300 is a lot of money. For me, it is. But on your perpetual cycle, you receive $800. You're already on your silver now. So you only keep back $100 to ride bronze again. That means you're keeping $700. So it makes no sense to just do the boards like that person told me today. I've been through all the stages and my account is dead. No, your account is only starting to come alive, and it's not an account, it's a profile. Once you've got to platinum on your initial, you've got to be on all your perpetuals, because that is where the abundance comes. That is the power of perpetual, because you are keeping so much more. On silver, Edgar, let's see what we're going to receive on silver. On silver, you are receiving $3,200, 8 times 4. On your initial cycle, you're only keeping $1,200 for yourself, only. But still a lot. But you're only keeping $1,200 because you've got to phone someone and say, hi, I've just joined your gold board. Where can I send $1,600? That's a very exciting phone call to get. And you're going to join your silver perpetual cycle. It's not a board, it's a cycle. And you're keeping $1,200. But when you're on that silver perpetual cycle and you get to legend and you receive $3,200, you're already on gold, so you don't need to gift that. You're only going to gift to join your silver, and so you're keeping $2,800. Wow. Now it's starting to get serious. This is generational wealth, because this is where you can start making plans for your family. This is where you can start getting rid of debt. This is where you can send your child to university, where you can plan retirement. You can start a family. You can start getting that nursery ready. You can do whatever, because this is when you're starting to see the serious money. When you're on gold, you are going to receive $12,800, and you're keeping $6,200. $6,200. Because you're having to send $5,000 to Edgar because he's legend on platinum. You're going to phone him and say, hey, Edgar, I've landed on your platinum. How would you like me to send you your $5,000? And then you're going to join your gold perpetual. Say it with me. Cycle. It's not your gold perpetual board. It's your gold perpetual cycle, because you're riding it again. And you're only keeping $6,200. But now you're on that gold perpetual cycle. You receive $12,800. You don't have to phone Edgar because you're already on his board. You're already on his board. Now you're keeping $11,200 because you're only holding back 1/6 to gift me, who's on gold. Look how much more you're keeping. That's the power of Perpetual. Don't go through the boards, quit your profile, and start again at coal. Why? All you got to do is peek and join your Perpetual cycle. There are too many people who get through to the higher boards, quit and start again. Why limit yourself to $25 and only receiving 75 when you can receive 175? And platinum is the same, whether it's initial or perpetual. You receive $40,000. You only hold back 5,000 to ride the perpetual cycle of platinum again. And so you're keeping $35,000. In South African rands, it's over 660,000 rands. It's more than 500,000 rand. It's life-changing. It's not going to just be generational wealth for me and my family. It's not going to just set up my family for a better life, but I can touch the lives of other people. I can really reach out to the communities and the charities that are dear to me and change them and change their lives because they don't have the opportunity of generational wealth. They are shackled by poverty. And how much could we change the lives of others when we reach out into the community to give them this? And I don't mean the GL community, that worldwide community. Reach out to them to allow them to experience the power of Perpetual. That is the power. Next slide, Edgar, and then we will chat. Next slide. Because I found this image and it was so powerful to me. Perpetual cycles are how you ride the boards to abundance. And it's where you build your legacy. And look at that perpetual sign, a legacy forever. I've got goosebumps. It's a legacy forever. Once you're on that perpetual cycle, you can bequeath your GL profile in your will or your testament to people in your family. And I really suggest that you let someone in your family know, or a trusted friend know, that you are engaged in gift of legacy. We have had people pass on, but those people who had left information, their families could log in. And even though their dearly departed was gone, somewhere along the line last year, they received gifts from their beloved family member. What a legacy to leave, that even once you've passed on, those boards can leave a legacy forever for your family. Edgar, Bev? We can discuss this one too. This was meant to be the end, but we can discuss it. No, Edgar's taken away. We'll look at it before we allow our open chat. What is that slide that you inspired us to make, Edgar? What does that mean to you?
The legacy forever?
No, the one before you, choo-choo train.
Oh, that's my favorite. That's really, I'm very visual, and the way I see it is, you are the engine. I am the engine, and all I need in my life to get from point A to a point B is a vehicle, right? So if I'm the engine, I can take that vehicle and move as fast as I can. Now,
absolutely.
In order for that engine to move, I need fuel. So for that, we have the coal, right? The coal to me are my dream, my aspiration, my reason, my purpose, my why I do what I do, my passion.
Your goals.
So now that I have that, so I'm the engine, I have the tool, I have the passion, I have the motivation, I have my reason, right? Which is very clear. And this is a little exercise that I'm going to invite everyone to do it, okay? Even if you're not a legend in platinum, this is what I'd like you to do. Take a little 3x5 I like the 3x5. They're so cute. You can do so much with them. And you can, a little yellow sticky note. And write down what you're going to do once you hit a legend in platinum. Gold, gift number 1, $5,000. Where's that going? Gift number 2, gift number 3, gift number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, and write it down and keep it in front of you. Have a little statement on the other side. My statement is very simple. Today, and I read this like 100 times a day because I have it right on my computer, right? I'm extremely happy. I feel happy. Again, happy. Joy. Feel. Because I receive X amount of money, right? After I have registered X amount of people and help X, I got this is my goal, amount of people in this vehicle called Gift of Legacy. By this date, you have to put a date. Because if you have an engine and you don't put a date, it's just going to be sitting there in a parking lot. You got to put the date. I'm committed to help these people by helping them in any way or shape or form. I'm a man of faith, and I believe that is going to happen. So when I see that little choo-choo train, I said, I'm the engine. I got the fuel. Now I got different wagon. And then we got the coal, the silver, the gold, the platinum. And then myself, as I ride, it's like when you travel on a plane, if you're sitting in the back on coach, you get the peanuts with a little Coke, you know? But if you're sitting in first class, they call you by your name. So that's what platinum is about. They go, we have hot meal. Would you like something to drink? The restaurant is right here. Is anything we can do? We have a menu a la carte. When you're sitting in the back, it's a leftover. So I said, I don't want to be in the back of the plane. And you feel all the turbulence and everything. When you're in first class, your legs stretch. It doesn't have to be a train. Even on a plane, even when you travel by train, by bus, or by limo, I used to be a limo driver. Trust me, it's not the same when you could stretch yourself. And so the choo-choo train is a vehicle that it flows, it goes. And all you got to do, keep pumping the engine, pumping the engine, pumping the engine, pumping the engine. But I can get fired up and spending a whole hour about it. You just got me fired up, Adele, asking me about my choo-choo train, right?
We love your choo-choo train, Edgar, we really do. And sometimes we just need a simple analogy. We don't need to overthink Perpetual. We don't have to stress about it. It's natural. Once you finish a board, don't wait. Don't wait for your friends, your team. That's what some people are doing. I'm not joining my Perpetual cycle because I'm waiting for my team. Why? Are they going to achieve your dream? Are they going to be there with your family for your generational wealth? I think not. Your board is your team at that moment in time. Go for it. You are always connected by your link. Go for it. Move through the boards. Your team will catch up with you. And if they don't, you're going to motivate them and inspire them to get there. Bev, what does that choo-choo train image do for you? And then I'm going to ask Glenn because he loves it too. Glenn, get your thingy ready, please. Bev.
The train that Edgar put out was so emotional for me. One of the things that I keep saying over and over again, you have got to get the understanding of what this is all about.
That's true.
When you understand it, you have fun putting coal into your engine and moving forward and moving backward and bringing other people on to feel how wonderful it is. I just love it. I truly love it. I have it all over my place. Thanks, awesome. Adele.
Edgar, you've got to say it. 1, 2, 3. Choo-choo. Come on,
Come on,
Edgar.
all aboard.
All aboard.
1, 2, 3. Choo-choo. You got it. Choo-choo all the time. All the time.
All the time. So Glenn has been joining our calls for the last few weeks. Glenn is in Canada, in the Saskatchewan district, in Saskatoon. There we go. Got it all right. And Glenn loves Edgar's choo-choo train. Glenn, tell us what you've done.
Well, what I've done, and well, thank you for the wonderful presentation, you guys. I love the energy and the passion, and you know, it gets me very emotional, quite frankly, like for what we've gone through around the world, but especially in Canada. I just want to hit on this point. I'm starting to share now with so many people because what the trucker movement did here in Canada, and then for any of us that donated to that cause, the government shut down our bank accounts. Very cruel.
Sure.
Very, very cruel. And I just share that simple fact. If this ever happens again, Glenn has a plan here. And I pull out a little file. And in my file, I always carry these in my vehicle. I've got this. And all I do, and I do fold this Perpetual over because it's a little confusing for brand new people. But for people that get it, then I walk them through this whole scenario of the choo-choo train pulling these little cars, and what a difference of a gift of $100 one time. And all I ask is to share it with two people that you care about. And these are with me every day, besides on my phone, but I love carrying because we love a visual. Right, Edgar? Men love a visual. They love to see a.
I love a visual.
Of course, we all love a visual.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love talking about this. I talk about it every day. Then we're just sharing. I've got a few of my team members on the call today. I did send you the picture of a Métis flag here in our province, and just check that out, Adele. The Métis flag is appropriate for this call today.
Let me look at it because I can send it to it. Was it on Telegram you sent it to me, Glenn?
WhatsApp. Okay. So they are Indigenous people here in Saskatchewan, and it kind of like blew my mind. A friend of mine that's on the call sent this to me, which I wasn't aware of. So thanks, Crystal.
That's amazing. Edgar can maybe pull it up off his WhatsApp. Yeah, it's just that visual. We needed it in Gift of Legacy. We needed something that you can take out and show to people, and do what Glenn's done. Keep it on your phone somewhere where you know how to find it, that you're not scrolling through your gallery, or print it out, laminate it. I think if you laminate it, because then you take a whiteboard pen, you can scribble on it and you wipe it off. I mean, that's what I do with my therapy kids. Everything is in plastic sleeves or laminated so we can scribble on and wipe it off.
It's such an easy,
don't want to damage the trees.
Exactly. It's such an easy conversation, Adele. I was just getting water the other day, and there was a new gal just started in the water store in January. And I went over and introduced myself because I'm so shy. And I just got into a conversation with her, and I, as a salesperson background, I just find out their pain points. And I said, you know what? I've got to share this with you. So I pulled out my phone and I showed her that little choo-choo train. And she got like quite choked up because she's trying to get her kids through sports, and there's just not enough money. It's just, so I'm scared if my car breaks down, I just don't have enough money. So I said, you know what? I've got something that's going to change things for you.
Yeah, it's amazing. Glenn, I love what you've done, and I love the way you're going about it. And one of these days you're going to be doing a training with us. I just feel it in my bones.
Awesome.
So,
can't wait.
Oh, it's going to be great. Edgar, can you pull up that last slide? Because I love the Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel just, it means everything to me in Gift of Legacy. It is the theme park. When you go to a theme park, you don't see the other rides. You see the Ferris wheel. It's the center point. So everyone wants to take photos. It's a thing you see in the night sky. And I found this one the other day, and it said, treat life like a Ferris wheel ride. You must get past the fear to enjoy the view. And so often we're fearful. Oh, I'm going to send that gift of 1/6. It's a lot of money. I'm going to send it to someone I don't know. No, you don't know them, but send it. Send it unconditionally. It's non-returnable. Send it with good intention. Send it from your heart, because it will come back to you. Because Gift of Legacy has a perpetual cycle on every board. And when you have finished a board, don't just limit yourself and go back to your small boards. Don't. We're not a money spinner. We're not. We are here to break the chains of poverty. We are here to create that circular economy. Don't let fear get in the way. It might take days, weeks, months. Even if it takes 2 years, it's worth it. It's worth it, because you are going to build that generational wealth. The power of the perpetual cycle is in your perception of the power of the perpetual cycle. That is all I am going to say. Maybe we can open for comments. Cams, it's lovely to see you. You're shining radiantly there. We'd love to hear from you. We've missed you so much on these calls.
Oh, I've just absolutely loved every minute of this call. And, just hearing you guys speaking about leaving a legacy. We talk about leaving a legacy for our families, but I just look at all of you and it just makes me emotional to think that, we've started a legacy. And we've moved from one legacy to the other. And it's just so beautiful to see how it's grown. I mean, just as an example, I love the way the three of you have bounced off each other. We never used to do calls with three. And it's just worked so beautifully tonight. And just the way that you shared Perpetual. And yeah, Gift of Legacy is just such a beautiful movement. And I've always said it's a microcosm of the macrocosm that's going in the world. And I always said that gifting really trended, definitely in South Africa, but I think globally, because we all kind of cottoned onto it at the same time. It happened because of COVID, and people were in fear. They didn't have jobs. And then they grabbed onto Zooms because it was some sense of normalcy. And I think those of us that carried on with this lifestyle, we weren't the ones that were going, we just wish everything would go back to normal. We weren't those people. We didn't do that. I most certainly didn't. And we've held on and we've fought, no matter how difficult it's been, because we didn't ever want to go back to the normal. But those people that were part of gifting that slowed down are the ones that stopped being engaged, because they got to go back to what they thought was normal. And they're clinging on to these jobs and their old life. And yeah, it's I don't know about you. I'm speaking from my own personal experience, but when you are in trust, and Gift of Legacy has truly allowed me to become a real and true space of trust, because of all the hardships that we've been through. And when you get to that place and you are in that relaxed state of mind, beautiful things happen and flow. And, even just for me not being able to be so active and involved and have to detach myself, it was beautiful, because in that space, so many more beautiful opportunities opened up, and opportunities to meet new people and create new circles. So it's just amazing that the trend is now not to go to Zooms. Oh, no, I don't want to go to a Zoom. Oh, no, I don't have time for a Zoom. And yet every single time I've come to a Zoom, and I mean, believe you me, like all of us, we've attended very, very many Zooms. It never gets old. And my heart always bursts wide open, and it's not fake and it's not a show. It's real. And it's beautiful, and it's just so wonderful to see how many new people join. And I really have a lot of love and respect for those of you that have stayed and continue to stay. And even those of you that have gone away and come back, I'm sure Gift of Legacy was always in your heart. And that is just so beautiful to sit here and witness. So thank you all very, very much. You're all the most beautiful contribution. And the other thing I wanted to say about the microcosm and the macrocosm, and I think what makes it so hard, because we're all light workers and we're here to share our light, is that because it's such a powerful movement and because we are really making a change in the world, we are faced with a very, very, very dark shadow. And it comes up in people that join and scammers, but it also comes up a lot in ourselves. Because money really shows, the energy of money really shows you who you truly are, and it gives you the choice to choose who you want to be. And I just love the journey, every single part of us, and I love watching every single one of you grow through it. Mwah.
Mwah. Thanks, Cans. You're looking well, and we're so glad to have you here. Thank you for being here, Cans. Elizabeth.
Hi, it's so lovely to hear you guys and hear you talking about perpetual cycle, because for me, and I heard Candice, and the macrocosm and the microcosm, and we're just a reflection. And what I feel is that our world is asking for this change. It's like it's necessary. Like we can't continue the way we've been. I think COVID just showed us a glimpse of what life can be. It's just like this is what's happening. On the other hand, I remember when the person who invited me, that first call, and she said gift of legacy. And the first thing that came to my eyes were my two sons and my grandchildren. That's the first thing that came to mind. It was like legacy. And that's where it is. And I know, legacy is much more than just money, but definitely the possibility to do something different, from what I lived through. For them is wow. Just knowing that there's that possibility is so fulfilling for me. And that's why for me, like gift of legacy definitely just shows me that there is a different way of doing stuff, of helping people, of helping myself, of helping my family. And I love Edgar's, when he talks about the money, his show me the money, and he says that when he receives gifts, he gives it to his wife. Yes. And happy wife, happy life. I love that. But yes, it's true. I mean, what makes me happy? Like, wow, let's go, let's go for lunch. Let's go, the whole family. Let's just go. Let's go on a trip. Let's just do stuff that usually we won't be able to do. And also watch people that you have helped come into Gift of Legacy and see that they are also making a difference in their own lives is absolutely beautiful. So I am so grateful to be here. Thank you, guys. Thank you for creating this, because I can say, because I've been studying a whole bunch of stuff, but I always describe this to my friends, to those who know me. I say that you guys who created the whole platform, the algorithm, is like if you had taken from the sky the theory of this is the way life has to be, and you like this idea, this from spirit down to earth, you have been able to do that. And we are a part of this. And I am so grateful to be a part of this. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Glenn, you've got more words of wisdom.
Well, wisdom or just more gray hair than everybody else. So I've got 69 trips around the sun, and like this platform, every time I jump on a Zoom call, I've been on about 4 or 5, and I've only been here just before Christmas. This absolutely feeds my heart and feeds my soul, and just it absolutely nourishes me, and I don't want to miss the train, right? Let's not miss the train here, you guys. And I just want to leave everybody here with one thought, like, what will be your legacy? I want to look in my mirror after the call, and I'm going to ask myself in my eyes, what is going to be Glenn's legacy now? And I've got the vehicle. I'm in the back seat of the vehicle right now. I'm hopping in the front seat passenger, but I want to get behind the steering wheel and drive the bus or drive the train. So thanks again, you guys.
Thanks, Glenn. And we can't wait for you to be in the front seat with us. You're going to be there sooner than you think. I feel it in my bones. Edgar, Bubsy. Let's go to
I like to hear
Bubsy.
from Babsy first before I share my little comments.
Bubsy.
Okay, let me go quickly. I just wanted to say, Glenn, you are not lost. If you are part of Gift of Legacy, you are in the front, my friend. You are the driver. You will have a lot of followers. It's not to say that people that are on platinum are the frontiers. You are part of the legacy. You are creating this whole thing here. We are just starting. We just started 2 years old. We just started. You are part of the frontliners.
Yep.
So, and then the other thing that I also wanted to say, I believe not just one or two of us that's here, but maybe all 28 belong to previous platforms, and it failed us.
Yep.
And we believe that this one is here to stay because we can see it, we can feel it, we can feel the abundance, we can feel the love, and we also experience it because a lot of us received gifts already. And then the other thing is, on Tuesday night, I was also on a Zoom, and I said to the people, encourage your members to join the Perpetual boards. It is so
perpetual
important.
cycle. They're perpetual cycles, Bubsy. They're not perpetual
cycles. Encourage your members and your invitees to do so, because it's not on the first boards, the first cycles where the magic happens. It's when you're on perpetual where the magic happens.
It does.
And encourage your people to join that boards. Please, if I can do a pledge to this 27 people, be the first to join your perpetual board, not the last. Be the first one to join, and the others will follow. If they see you there, they will follow and join your perpetual boards. I had somebody the other night that said, no, but there's still 7 spaces open. Why must I join? No, no, no. Be the first one to join, and the others will follow you. That is the message that I will leave you with you tonight.
And it's a very powerful message, Babsy, and it's so true. And what I do is, if I finish a board as a legend, I finish the board, I go and join the next board, I peek and join, and then I go back to the board I'm on and I peek and join. I don't peek, think, strategize. I peek and join because I know what my goal is. I know the legacy I want to leave behind. And I don't care which board I'm on, because that board is my team at that moment in time.
I love gifting legends that I don't know. I didn't even know that there's people that use strategies before they join boards. It was just, for me, it's just a natural progression. Close the board, refresh your page, join. Like it was just never a question for me.
Same.
And just on what Bubsy said, and also to you, Glenn, and I've always said this, it's not about who you've joined. That's not where your success is going to be. It's who you bring in and the people that they bring in, and always looking after the last person that came in, because that is where the power is. It's called the roots. How deep do you want your roots to go? Because that's where your success is, not who you're following. Who you're following is lucky to have you follow, if you know that.
It's true.
Edgar, go for it. Sorry, I hogged the stage.
Edgar, we're going to leave you and Beverly to wrap it up. I'm going to say thank you. It's been awesome to be here. And let's just remember the power of this presentation, the power of Perpetual. Thanks, everyone. Edgar, over to you.
Thank you. I needed to hear that, Candice, because that's where, I mean, you and I are synced beyond the Zoom, but that's another subject. I'm a gentleman, so I'm going to let Doris speak because it's just not right. All right, so go ahead, Doris.
I didn't see it.
Thank you, everybody. I live in Manchester, in England, but I'm Spanish. So I am so happy to to join Guido's Legacy, because for me it's a blessing to be here. I always, now I am in four boards, the bronze. So it's like, I am agree, like concept. For example, when I finish one board, I join the next board. Yeah. And also I like to achieve my goals. I like to read. I am reading the 10 Keys of Success. This book is very good because it's help me to achieve my goals, to inspire to me, you know. Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Sorry. Okay.
Lovely to meet you, Doris.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Edgar.
Awesome. Okay, so when I saw Perpetual for the first time, I didn't understand it. Second time, I didn't understand it. Third time, I didn't understand. This is what I understood. I've been doing real estate for 20 years. Very successful. I'm still doing it. Matter of fact, I'm selling my neighbor's property next door on a cash deal. So cash in. I love cash deal because there's no bank involved. And I'm excited about it. So I'm actively still doing real estate. But this is one thing about, and this is not just real estate. Just this is for anybody that's listening that think they have secure income. Okay? If you build it correctly, if you help enough people achieve their dream, go through the process, learn, understand it, not just understand how Perpetual work. Watch this video over and over at the presentation, ask questions. If you build it correctly and you give yourself 5 years, consistent discipline every day, dedicating 1 hour of discipline, maybe a Zoom a day, maybe a training a day, maybe a reading, go through the A through Z, maybe the academy, just 1 hour dedicated to GL, probably inviting, learning, whatever, 1 hour for 5 years, and you build it correctly. Regardless of what you do for your income, by building Perpetual, you could say, you know what? I'm going to travel the world. And all you got to do is take your cell phone with you. That's it. Not even your laptop. Just do what I did. Get yourself a phone smarter than you. My cell phone is smarter than I am. Sometimes I say, Edgar, you want to take a picture? You better clean the screen. I say, oh, sorry. It's just a message here. So you got to clean the screen. I mean, my phone doesn't want to take a picture of me if the screen is not clean. How smart that is. So you take your cell phone, and you could be anywhere on the planet, and you could send gift, receive gift, send gift, receive gift, share this, and bless other people and bless yourself, because you're not attached to a physical location. When I'm doing real estate, I have to be attached to my license expiring in 2 weeks. So I have to renew my license. I can only do real estate business within an hour away, within my region, I cannot do real estate from Johannesburg. I cannot do real estate from Barcelona. I have to do real estate. I have to be attached to my office, to my location. This vehicle allows me that I can be anywhere in the planet and build it. And that's, to me, the biggest thing, having that freedom. It's been a pleasure for me sharing this opportunity with Adele and Elizabeth and being in the presence of each one of you. I'm excited, and I'll see you on the board.
And Beverly?
Well,
Beverly,
hello.
do you want to end off for us with some wise words?
I just want to say, if we all hold within ourselves how we are feeling right now, being with each other, speaking about what the future can truly be for each and every one of us, because we all have got our own level of what we are seeking. That's where this magic of gift of legacy will always be, holding on to each other. That's all. Perpetual cycles keep you holding on to each other. I love each and every one of you. I pray for blessings of love, health, and all that is good. I truly do. Thank you, Adele. Thank you, Edgar. Thank you, Elizabeth. Oh, Candace, it was just so wonderful to see you. My heart rejoices this day for this moment. Thanks all.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Get that engine going.